Okay. Welcome to the March 2026 committee meetings of Dubbo Regional Council. I advise that Council is now web streaming its standing committees and council meetings live to the internet, and as such, all those present should refrain from making any defamatory statements. Your attendance at this meeting is your acceptance of the condition that your image may be recorded and streamed to the internet, as well as being retained in the archive of the recorded council meetings and standing committee meetings. I now open the March 2026 Infrastructure Planning and Environment Committee meeting, the time being 5:33 p.m. First of all, we have the acknowledgement of country from Councillor Cowley, please.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and I would like everybody to join me in acknowledging the Wiradjuri people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet tonight, and pay our respects to elders past and present of the Wiradjuri nation, and also to elders of other nations and other cultures that are joining us here tonight, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal people and to us all in the hope of a happy and successful meeting.
Thank you. Next, we have the leave of absence. I advise that Councillor Lucas Butler has made an application to attend the meeting via audio-visual link in accordance with Council's Code of Meeting Practice. Can I have someone move to approve the application for Councillor Butler to attend this meeting via audio-visual link? Councillor Toynton, seconded by Councillor Wright. Anyone wish to speak to that? No. Could governance please open the voting? Councillor Butler, can you just click your vote again on your phone or device, please? Some technical issue. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I don't seem to have a voting button. Maybe
just put your hand up and we'll take it from there while we...
Yep.
That's carried
Maybe
unanimously. While we try
Thank
and work that out, we'll continue on with the next formalities. I've received requests for leave of absence from Councillors Matthew Dickerson and Adam Ryan. Can I please have someone move to approve the apologies of Councillors Matthew Dickerson and Adam Ryan? Councillor Cowley, seconded by Councillor Richardson. Anyone wish to speak on that? No. Could governance please open the voting on that? Please cast your votes. Did we have a vote from Councillor Butler there? No. Could Councillor Butler, can you just go on the screen and give us a wave, please? Councillor Butler, can you just come on screen and give us a wave for your vote, please? Didn't register again. Councillor Butler, can you just turn your microphone on, please, and you should come on the screen. Oh, here we go. Just working on a few technical difficulties here for those watching at home. Can I have someone move a 2-minute adjournment, please, while we just sort this out? Moved Councillor Toyton, seconded by Councillor Chowdhury. All those in favour? Against? I declare that carried. We'll have a 2-minute adjournment to sort out these technical difficulties. Thank you. Please stop the web streaming. We return from the short adjournment. Councillor Butler is having connectivity issues and we'll continue on with the meeting, and Councillor Butler may join us later. We'll just note his absences. Item 1.2, conflicts of interest. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest to declare? Councillor Cowley.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a conflict of interest, significant but non-pecuniary, for cultural community 2.1.4. No, 2.4.1. Sorry, request for interest-free loan from Dubbo Show Society Incorporated. I have contracted to the Dubbo Show Society and I'm a volunteer and work closely with the committee, so I'll remove myself from the room should we discuss that as it comes up.
Is that this committee or next committee? Cultural? Next committee?
What's the next committee? But this is over.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, right, sorry. Just
No
getting
problem.
ahead of
Just
myself.
practicing. We'll run that one again next. No other conflicts? No conflicts? None. Next item, 1.3.1, report of the Renewable Energy Zone Benefit Committee meeting held 9 February 2026. Do I have someone to move that, please? Councillor Ivey, seconded by Councillor Cowley. I saw with a hand up out of the corner of my eye. Councillor Ivey, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, just to say that the Renewable Energy Committee is very, very vibrant and it's very pertinent at present. It's just the whole renewable energy benefit committee work is really heating up now. We've got the first VPA for Yungala. We'll be committing some funds later in this year, and there are obviously other renewable projects about to come on board. And so the role of the committee in working through that renewable benefit funding is very vital, is very important, and I think we've got a pretty good committee. We actually had another meeting last night that was quite productive, and I think in the coming months Council will become really aware of how important the renewable industry is. I know there are a lot of detractors to the renewable industry, but like it or lump it, there are some projects which are about to come on board, and I think the role of this council is to make sure that we do get optimum use of the dollars that come out of those particular projects. So yes, it's a very vibrant, important committee at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Further debate, councillors? There being none, I'll just note the presence of the Stop Boree Creek and Stop Hampton Park Solar Farm people in the gallery tonight. Thank you for your attendance. Given that there's no further debate or comments, we'll put that to the vote. Could the governance team please open the voting? Please cast your votes. Carried unanimously. 1.4.1 Drinking Water Management System 2025 Annual Report to New South Wales Health. Do I have someone to move that, please? Councillor Toynton, seconded by Councillor Wright. Councillor Toynton, would you like to speak to that at all?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any further debate, councillors? There being none, could governance please open the voting? Please cast your votes. Carried unanimously. 1.4.2 Water Quality Action Plan 2025 Annual Report. Do I have someone to move that, please? Councillor Cowley, seconded by Councillor Richardson. Councillor Cowley, would you like to speak to that at all?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any debate, councillors? Councillor Chowdhury.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If someone can update the current situation of fluoride when in Dubbo, when they're gonna implement. Thank you.
The General Manager.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Godfrey.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The current update on that project is that the actual dosing facility at John Gilbert Treatment Plant has been completed. The issue we've got is the air entrainment issue that we had where our water supply moves from our filters into our pump station that then gets distributed to the town. So our contractor has now built a large pit and that will release the air. So we're actually at the stage of just fitting that pit out. So I would say before the end of the financial year, we should have fluoride back in Dubbo's water supply.
Thank you. Councillor Chowdhury, anything further?
Yeah, I just have another question because this is Water Quality Action Plan. Just like a roughly in a year, how many like a complaint we might receive through our customer service water quality? Because sometimes we have seen through Facebook there's a dissatisfaction regarding the water quality.
General Manager.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor. The customer complaints that we get throughout the year is actually in the previous report. So it actually outlines all the complaints that we get, what was done, what the complaint was, and then what was done. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we could get that. But it's actually in that previous report.
Very few, I'd say. Anything further, Councillor Chowdhury? Thank you. Councillor Ivey?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, gee, fairly impressive report, actually, that quality action plan with 100 and how many there are line items there. Just a couple of questions. On line 32, it says under the completed section that to investigate if bores can yield enough water to supply level 4 restrictions. And it says that that investigation is completed. I was just wondering what the outcome was. Can the bores, in fact, sustain the water demand during level 4 restrictions?
To the General Manager.
Thank you. And through you, Mr Mayor, to Mr Godfrey.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. In short, the answer is no. We have ascertained that with the bore infrastructure we have at the moment, we can run Dubbo on level 5 water restrictions for a shorter period of time. And that's about 7,500 megalitres per annum that we can run through our John Gilbert water treatment plant. So that's significantly less than what it would be able to produce in a year. The main problem is aquifer sustainability. So it's depending on how you run the pumps that we have, because we have multiple, that affects the extraction rate. And that number is also affected by the fact that we share the aquifer with our friends in agriculture and private bores as well. So it's also dependent on what they're doing.
Right. So
Further, Councillor Ivey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So we've got the infrastructure can handle it as whether or not the water coming out of the bores is adequate. Yep.
To the General Manager.
Thank you. And through you, Mr Mayor, to Mr Godfrey.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, that's essentially correct. The infrastructure is more than capable of that kind of flow rate. There are some further upgrades we need to do to the actual John Gilbert water treatment plant to run the town on 100% bore water. But if it were an issue where we had to address it tomorrow, we could do it with a few restrictions, I think, on how we operate the plant.
Okay. Yeah.
Councillor Ivey, further.
Can I just ask another question then? Again, line 113 of that document, again, it says it's completed. It's in the green section, but yet it's highlighted in blue. I don't know quite what that means. But just about New South Wales Health should consider supporting interactions with the EPA on discharge of chlorinated water to the environment. I just wondered, I know, is that an issue with Elston Park, for instance? And I know at one stage that there was an issue with the fountain in the Cameron Park in Wellington that was chlorinated, and getting rid of the chlorinated water was an issue. Has that been resolved, or is it still an issue in either of those two instances that I can think of, Elston Park and Cameron Park?
To the General Manager.
Thank you. And through you, Mr Mayor, to Mr Godfrey, if you've got a response to that.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I'll have to take that one on notice. I can speak to the irrigation system, though, in Elston Park, and that's actually done via bore water, and there is no chlorination in that. But as for the actual water park, I can't comment on that. Take it on notice.
Thank you. Further questions, comment or debate, councillors? There being none, we'll move that. Governance, please open the voting. Please cast your votes. Carried unanimously. Item 1.4.3, Development Activity Summary. Do I have someone to move that, please? Councillor Chowdhury, seconded by Councillor Wright. Councillor Chowdhury, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd like to shout out to the team. They're still beating to the region. They're really doing like a hammering, approving all these DS really on time, like within 47 days on average. Pretty good. I have a question through you. There was one of the like a DA for car park in 15 Horton Street. Is that for public car park or like a official car park? If someone can give some update, please.
To the General Manager.
Thank you, Mr Mayor, and through to Mr Jennings.
Through you, Mr Mayor, yeah, the proposed car parking at Hawthorn Street, it's for the state government. It's connected to their activities, and it's not too far off being near the end of its assessment process as well.
Thank you. Councillor Wright.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Look, I always enjoy reading that report just to understand what sort of level of activity is happening around town. But the thing that excites me more is when you see large-scale commercial investment in the city, and that breeds confidence. And so when you've got a couple of service stations and the car park, as Councillor Chowdhury said there as well, and a dairy, and coupled with all those residential developments, confidence breeds confidence, and obviously indicates that Dubbo is still a strong place for businesses to invest. So that's a good story.
Thank you. Councillor Ivey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, look, I'd reinforce those comments of Councillor Wright. If we go to table 3 in that report, which is the league table, it really does show how Dubbo is leading the pack, both in sort of the development coming through, but also just in the average assessment days. And perhaps I might just follow that up with a question through you, Mr. Mayor. Are we likely to be able to maintain that very good position, or have we got any staff shortage problems, or are we generally pretty well on top of it and we'll be able to maintain our premier position there?
To the General Manager.
Thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor, to Mr. Jennings.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, always looking about how we can do things better and make those times even shorter. In the assessment area, we are fully staffed as of next week as well. So in the development assessment area, we're down one building certifier. But we are quite well staffed in that regard, but the team's always looking for ways that we can improve our processes. I've got a very solid focus on looking at that, and also looking about how we keep our internal teams to account as well, because I don't want to waste days around those issues internally in our organisation either. So, but yeah, to answer your question, Councillor Ivey, yes.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments or debate? There being none, we'll put that. Can governance please open the voting? Please cast your votes. Just give us a wave. Yep. And Councillor Butler online. Thank you. Got you. Carried unanimously. Item 1.4.4, responses to notice of motion, renewable energy zone and renewable energy projects. Moved by Councillor Toynton, seconded by Councillor Chowdhury. Councillor Toynton, would you like to speak to that at all?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's good to finally have the those responses. The original motion said 6 weeks, and here we are, finally seeing it 6 months later. So better late than never. But it's other than that, there's not much really to say. That it's taken a lot longer than I thought it would have to get such a basic answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Noting that we're waiting for responses back, it wasn't for a council report. Anything further? No, we'll put that. Can governance please open the voting? Please cast your votes.
There we go.
Councillor Butler, got you. Carried unanimously. 1.4.5, Draft Dubbo Regional Housing Strategy Engagement Insights Report, Phase B and Next Steps. Do I have someone to move that, please? Moved by Councillor Richardson, seconded by Councillor Chowdhury. Councillor Richardson, would you like to speak to that at all?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any further debate, councillors? Councillor Wright.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Oh, look, I just wanted to more thank community more than anything. There's a couple of hundred pages of submissions in there, and obviously some of them are multiple pages and more in depth than others. But you know, when council's putting these types of items in a community, and we need community feedback, and obviously there's a lot of passionate people who are keen to get involved in that discussion. So so thank you, and I do look forward to the next steps of this particular process and to where things go from here. So.
Thank you. Further debate, councillors. Councillor Wells.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just noting that listed in the paper the range of housing that they will be looking at, and I still continue to see no social housing amongst that, and I'll be keen to have. I'm really interested in seeing that in the future, and I wonder whether there's any insights from anybody that could answer that question. Thank you.
General Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and through to Mr. Jennings.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, social housing, just like all forms of housing, is an important component of our housing makeup across the region. Definitely with the strategy and the work that we're going to look at now in getting through and making a good account of those 103 submissions, 99 from members of the public, is to make sure that we can address all of those issues that have been raised, and then also to make sure that we can have those right connections with government and also with Homes New South Wales as to how we can have the right pathways for housing across Dubbo and Wellington, most definitely. Obviously, as that main goal and looking into the future, 20 or 30 years, we don't want anyone to fall out of that housing spectrum. But yeah, it is an important document and it will take us some time to get through. But we do have that extreme focus on making sure that it's the right strategy for the region for the future with all those types of issues. Councillor Wells.
Councillor Wells. Nothing further? Thank you. Further debate, councillors? There being none, we'll put that. Can governance please open the voting? Please cast your votes. Carried unanimously. As there are no further items, I declare the Infrastructure, Planning and Environment Committee closed, the time being 5:59 p.m. I now invite Councillor Wells to chair the Culture and Community meeting. Thank you.
I now open the March 2026 Culture and Community Committee meeting, the time being 6 o'clock. First item is 2.2, conflicts of interest. Councillor Cowley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as flagged earlier when I was just trying to make sure that the Mayor was taking notice of the agenda, well done, Mr. Mayor. I have a conflict of interest in 4.1. Request for interest-free loan for the Dubbo Show Society Incorporated. So when we discuss that, I will leave the room. I have a non-pecuniary significant interest in that I have contracted to the Dubbo Show Society and I continue to volunteer and work closely with them.
Thank you. Are there any further conflicts of interest? Okay, we'll continue. 2.3.1, report of the Multicultural Advisory Committee, meeting held on the 2nd of February 2026. Do I have a councillor to move the motion of the business papers, please? Councillor Wright, and seconded by Councillor Chowdhury. Would you like to speak to your motion, Councillor Wright?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Oh, look, there's a strong push for the committee itself to have a strong input into the multicultural the multicultural strategy, which has been discussed the last couple of times, and I know that the whole of that committee is really keen to contribute towards that and see that come to fruition. So, and that was a large part of the discussion at that meeting, and I guess it'll continue on over the next few meetings as that strategy develops. Hopefully, we'll see that come towards council sometime later in the year.
Thank you. Are there any further comments or questions? Okay. As there are none, could I have, could we move to voting, please? Sorry. I'm trying to. It's frozen. I'll just raise my hand because my iPad is not communicating with me. And Councillor Butler, have you got your hand up as well? So I declare that unanimous. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Moving on to 2.3.2, report on the Youth Council meeting held on the 5th of February. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in business papers? Councillor Cowley. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chowdhury. Councillor Cowley, would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Only to again congratulate our young people for the robust input that they continue to bring to the table, and I know that you share my concern about ensuring that those young people are heard on a regular and meaningful basis at our council committees and council meetings. So if we can keep that in the forefront of our minds to always make a place for them at the table.
Thank you, Councillor Cowley. Any further comments? Councillor Wright.
Thanks, Madam Chair. It was a question actually, which maybe Councillor Cowley might be able to answer this one, but it was just with respect to a music festival event that Macquarie Conservatorium is leading the planning on this particular event. Can you maybe we get a little bit more information on what that one is and how much input council has with respect to that one?
Sure. I'll go to the GM.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Chair, to you don't know. Okay. So, Councillor Cowley, you do not have to answer it, but feel free to if you choose to do so.
I would certainly answer it if I could, but I think we'll all take that on notice and come back to Councillor Wright.
I can mention that at the last Youth Council meeting, music festivals were part of the conversation, but I don't believe as yet whether anything's in planning mode. But happy to take that question on notice and bring it back to councillors. Any further questions or comments? Okay. With that, I'd like to just make one comment. At the last Youth Council meeting, I was really impressed to see the progress to moving to a strat plan for the Youth Council meeting. And everybody I think at the table were really happy to see a strat plan that would actually have some actionable outcomes. It was good to see the youth embrace that and really take that on board because then they feel like they're achieving actions and it's not necessarily a feeling like a talk fest. So that was really interesting. And as I've said before, the youth are embracing it and very impressive guys. So with that, I will, Thank you. Go back to Councillor Cowley. Would you like a right of reply?
Oh, no, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, with that, could I have governance please open the voting?
I just think it's a bit slow.
Thank you. Councillor Butler has his hand up, so I will declare that unanimous. Thank you. And we'll move on to 2.4.1, the request for interest-free loans. And I believe Councillor... Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll move. Could I have a councillor... Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business papers, please? Councillor Chowdhury and seconded by Councillor Wright. Councillor Chowdhury, would you like to... Actually, no, we have a... Councillor Cowley, you have a conflict of interest?
I declare a non-pecuniary significant interest and I will leave the room for the discussion.
Thank you. We'll wait until Councillor Cowley has left the room. Should we close that door or not? Thank you. Back to you, Councillor Chowdhury. Would you like to speak to your motion?
Absolutely. I'll be fully support of this interest-free 5 years loan for this show society because of they're a non-profit organization doing fantastic job every year. They deliver this fantastic show for Dubbo community, and also the current facilities they've been using is 50 years old, so they really need that, and they've been paying us back within 5 years as in installments. I have no issue to support this one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Chowdhury. Are there any other? Yes, Councillor Wright.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Yeah, I'll support this as well. I think the opportunity cost that council loses isn't significant over that period of time. And a couple of things I do like to note here is that the Show Society, they aren't just putting their hand out. They have had a bit of a crack at a number of grants, which they haven't been successful in doing. But on top of that, this is a co-contribution, and it looks like they're contributing nearly half of the funds towards this as well. So they've got some skin in the game in it as well. They contribute a lot to the Dubbo community. So I think to upgrade this facility, more than happy to support it for the cost to council.
Thank you, Councillor Wright. Councillor Ivey.
Yes, I'll definitely support it. As Councillor Wright just said, really, it's the opportunity cost is fairly low. It's probably about $4,000 to council over the 5-year period in terms of foregone interest on some of the council's investments. And for $4,000, if council facilitates the construction of perhaps a $200,000 or a $250,000 essentially community building, that to me seems to make pretty good economic sense. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ivey. Are there any further comments or questions? As there are none, could governance please? No, sorry. Can I go back to the mover? Councillor Chowdhury, you have nothing? Okay, thank you. So could I have governance please open the voting? Okay. So, yep. I will declare that unanimous. Thank you. Could somebody please bring Jen back in? Thank you. Thank you. So we'll move on to 2.4.2, results of public exhibition, the event permit policy. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business papers? Moved by Councillor Chowdhury. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Wright. Councillor Chowdhury, would you like to speak to your motion?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Are there any further comments or questions, please? No. Okay. As there are none, would the I'll go back to you, Councillor Cowley. There's been Councillor Chowdhury. There's been no obviously other commentary. You've got nothing to add. Thank you. As there are no further comments, could I have governance please open the voting? Oh, yeah. And we have, that's carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on to 2.4.3, results of the public exhibition of, didn't I just do that one? There's another one. Okay. You just wanted to throw me a curveball. The next, as I said, next item is 2.4.3. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business papers? Councillor Richardson. Do I have a seconder? Councillor, who's got Chowdhury? Councillor Richardson, would you like to speak to your motion?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Are there any further comments or questions? Yes. Councillor Ivey.
I'd just really like to speak in support of the two public submissions which we got from Tim and from Phoebe Maroulis, and they just raised. I'd like to just speak in favour of the sort of general points that they raised. That the need for council, or the need or the benefit of council working with the community on some of these particular events, and the events are so important to the community. And really, when some organisations get on and start to work it, then really we've got to have council working with them rather than sort of just council working separately to help them. And I think, I know that that's might be a little bit subjective in many ways, but I just think that attitude where, and they both raised the issues that if there are things that council can do to help, then really can we give that some priority and really try to get involvement, cooperation between council and the community. And I just think they both raised separately that quite valid point.
Thank you, Councillor Ivey. Are there any further questions or comments? As there are none, I will go back to the mover. Councillor Richardson, would you like to?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
As there are no further comments, could I have governance please open the voting? And Councillor Butler has his hand up. I declare that unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to 2.4.4, 2026 Sister City Student Exchange Program. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business papers, please? Councillor Richardson, and a seconder, please. Councillor Chowdhury, thank you. Councillor Richardson, would you like to speak to your motion?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Are there any further questions or comments? Oh, Councillor Black.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Look, we need to keep the Minicamo Exchange going. I went 15 plus years ago as a chaperone on an exchange, and it was a great experience for all the kids who went. And there's not many of these left in probably Australia that are run by councils, and this has been going for over 30 years. So I feel it's very important that we continue this. So it really does need to, once it stops, it doesn't start up again. It's usually how these things go. Couple of concerns about the programs that are proposed to be cut to fund the time allowance, really, for someone to operate their program. One of the ones in particular is the Youth Music Festival, the Live, which we get funding through Create New South Wales. Look, I don't know all the ins and outs of what goes into that, but I know it's a really good evening for the youth of the region, different bands that go along there, and the kids from the senior campus vet entertainment class that set up all the stage, and they go along and they run all the sound and light for the evening. That's something that we really need to find somewhere else that we can make a saving, a time saving, to keep that going, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that even if you had to pay someone casual to do either run that or run the sections of the Minicamo Exchange, that I think that we really do need to keep both those things going. I know that we're going to hear that, we can't do everything, etc., but they're really important activities for the community, I believe, and I'd really like to see both of those continue, and I don't think that it's mutually exclusive. I think that a workaround could be made somewhere where we can continue both those. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Back. Through the GM, we have a further comment.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And if I could just pass to Mr. Arms.
Thank you, General Manager. Through you, Madam Chair. Your comments and concerns are noted, Councillor, Mr. Mayor. Just clarifying, so that the Youth Music Festival it's not a cutting, if you like, it's a postponement. We're seeking to postpone. We've been in consultation with the Conservatorium of Music, and they've been very understanding of our suggestion to do that, to free up time to divert to the youth to the sister cities. So again, it's not a cutting, it's a postponing. So we do expect to do that later this year, but perhaps not at the same time frame that was initially planned. Similarly for the others, apart from the scaled back holiday programs, there may be some elements of that cut, but in general, the program itself will be largely intact. We're just really letting councillors know that given the loss of the staff member and the time that it takes, particularly at this early stage of the student exchange, we need to take resources away from somewhere in order to make that program work.
Councillor Cowley.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through you to Mr. Arms. That the comment you just made about the Youth Music Festival, does that go back to what Councillor Wright was just asking about? Is that the same youth festival that we were talking about under the Youth Council? The question raised there.
Through to the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Mr. Arms.
Thank you, Mr. GM. Through you, Madam Chair. We don't know at this point, so I'm looking over to my manager of arts and culture, and so we're just a little vague on that at the moment.
Okay.
But we'll come back to you in due course.
Could
Councillor Cowley.
sorry, and just
Councillor Cowley, could you turn your microphone on, please?
sorry, I share Mayor Black's concerns about this. I understand the resourcing issue and the fact that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. I am concerned about the postponement again, or the delayed activation of the Dubbo Region Cultural Council, given that we've already waited so long for it. And I do understand that it's important and it needs to be given the attention that it deserves. I'm disappointed with that. But I would also like to just, in absentia, I guess, thank Ms. Wang for the extraordinary job that she did as the Sister City coordinator, and also to echo Mayor Black's comments about the importance of the exchange program. I think if we lose momentum, it would be devastating for that program. It needs to continue. So those are my comments.
Thank you, Councillor Cowley. Are there any? Councillor Chowdhury.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I will be echo with the mayor because few of the councillors we've been in Minicamo and we have seen the effort and time they have been putting for us. And if we cut back to Sister City for any reason, it would be really disappointing. And also, through you, Madam Chair, so we cannot contract anyone to deliver those youth music festival and other holiday program.
Councillor Chowdhury, is that a question?
Yeah.
Okay, through to the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Mr. Arms.
Thank you, GM. Through the Madam Chair. It's a key time right now to be moving in preparation for the student exchange program. So to bring someone in new, to find someone, bring them in, would take time to get them up to speed at a key time we need to be moving forward. We had looked at other sort of contracting options, external professional options. They didn't bear fruit given the timeframes that we were looking to. So I assure the councillors we have sat round and really tried to problem solve this, and the report that you have in front of you for your information is our best recommendation to take us forward. Those items there are largely intact. It's the time frame of delivery that we're pushing out to give us some time at this front end of the student exchange work to get that in place. Our recruitment for the temporary position, for the part-time position rather, is in train as well. So we're hoping to have someone in place and then get back to normal programming as soon as we can. That's certainly the intent of what we're trying to do.
Thank you. Councillor Chowdhury, did that answer your question? Any further? Okay. Any further comments or debate? I'll add one thing. I think about 25 years ago, we took a exchange student from Japan for this program. And that was a huge and a fantastic experience, not only for the young student we had with us, but also for our family who shared some cultural, First Nations cultural practices back with them. So it's absolutely important to, have these student exchange programs. With that, I go back to Councillor Richardson as the mover. Would you like a right of reply?
No, thank you, Madam Chair. I think it's all been said. Thank you.
Okay. Great. Thank you. With that, could governance please open the voting? What happened?
Don't know.
Something blew up.
Yours is.
No, there it is. Okay, thank you. Councillor Butler has his hand up, so I will declare that carried unanimously. Thank you. As there are no further items, I declare the Culture and Community Committee closed, the time being 6:24 p.m. And we will now move to the final section, which is chaired by Councillor Richardson. Thank you. Oh, a little bit better.
I now open the March 2026 Corporate Services Committee meeting, the time being 6:25 p.m. Item 3.2, conflicts of interest. Does anyone have any conflicts of interest to declare? Being none, we'll move on. Item 3.4, reports from staff. 3.4.1, monthly reporting snapshot for councillors, February 2026. The next item is 3.4.1. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business paper? Councillor Ivey, seconded Councillor Chowdhury. Councillor Ivey, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, please, Madam Chair. Look, again, I always enjoy these reports because there's a whole lot of good information in there, some good and some bad, but mostly good. Just a couple of points that I picked out of there. Again, we just look at the passenger numbers through the Dubbo Airport. They consistently are higher month on month compared to previous years. And I presume that's the total passenger numbers, and I understand that there have been some flight reductions, I think, through Rex, and there are a lesser number of flights, but more passengers. So I just wonder if can I just flag a question there, that has there been any feedback, any interaction with the flight companies that use the airport on how they think the things are travelling? Are they happy, or are there any issues that they can see? So I might, if I can just flag that one, leave that. The other thing is just the number, and allied to that perhaps too, the number of visitors through the to the old Dubbo Jail, the RTCC and the Western Plains Cultural Centre are up a lot, but quite noticeably the number of visitors to the Visitor Information Centre is down quite appreciably. And so, you get less visitors through the Visitor Information Centre, but more visitors to the attractions. So I think that does raise another continuing question about how we can best use the resources of the Visitor Information Centre. And just the other issue, which I'd say, again, just looking at the occupancy rate at the Wellington Cave waves, which is around about 20 to 30%. And look, for a resource that's got such fantastic potential out there, to have an occupancy rate of 20 to 30% is just awful. And I know we've done a review and we've looked at that previously, but I think that's something which absolutely needs to stay on council's radar. We need to get that occupancy rate up. So, as I say, just some comments there, but just if I could go back to the question and through you, Madam Chair, have we had any interaction with the with QantasLink or the other operators from the airport, and how do they think it's travelling?
Yep, through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Mr. Lindsley Noakes.
So yes, I have had some interactions with more of the major airlines, and they obviously see the data on a day-to-day basis, and they are, well, it's obviously in their commercial advantage, so that the improvement is fantastic. So they enjoy it. The reduction in flight numbers is like a consolidation of flights. We're seeing that across the board. There's supply issues with aircraft. There's not as many aircraft flying around, so they're consolidating the numbers. But our numbers are still increasing, so it's not a huge risk at the moment. We are monitoring it, but we see a consolidation of flights, but passenger numbers going up, which is not a bad thing.
Councillor Ivey, another question?
Perhaps just a follow-up question or comment. In view of that, then it's probably a fairly good time, a good timing to be looking at the whole question of the strategy of car parking. If the number of passengers going through the airport is increasing, then probably the climate is a pretty good time, pretty good climate to look at rejigging that whole parking strategy.
Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Mr. Lindsley Noakes.
We are doing exactly that right now. So,
any further debate? Oh, Councillor Cowley, yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wonder, through you, maybe Ms Brown might explain or just confirm or explain why the nosedive in the number of visitors to the Dubbo Visitor Information Centre, would that have anything to do with the fact that it was closed for painting?
Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Ms Brown.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Chair. Both Eagle Eye councillors spotting that dip at the Dubbo Visitor Information Centre, which definitely relates to the fact that we were closed through the period for painting. We redirected visitors to the old Dubbo Jail for a temporary visitor information centre service, and we definitely had visitors come in and receive support at the old Dubbo Jail site where we had that temporarily located. You may recall that the way that we count visitors is through the door of the Dubbo Visitor Information Centre. We had no such count available to us at the old Dubbo Jail. So while they were coming in, we were not able to count them, and therefore you see the dip in the numbers.
Any further debate? Councillor Ivey?
Just a follow-up comment or question on that through you, Madam Chair. But there is nonetheless a decline in the visitations to both Wellington and Dubbo Visitor Information Centre, isn't it? And so it's not just explained by that. Is that right?
Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to Ms Brown.
And through you, Madam Chair, thank you very much for the question. Yes, you're right. The way travellers are seeking information is changing. And we are definitely looking at the moment about the way that the Dubbo and Wellington Visitor Information Centres can be able to provide both face-to-face but also digital support services for visitors. And that's a live conversation at the moment, and we hope to be able to come back to councillors. The service review that we did indicated that is the trend. We know that that is the trend across our fellow councils as well that offer visitor information services. And we will continue to refine to meet the needs of travellers to our great region.
Any further debate? I'll just make a brief comment about the airport car park. I had the opportunity to fly down to Sydney a couple of weeks ago and had to leave on the Saturday morning early, the 6:30 flight. When I got there, the car park was chock-a-block full. They were parking behind that temporary fence, that area there, which just blew me away for a Saturday. So anyway. Now, Councillor Ivey, would you like a rider for play?
No, thank you.
That being the case, good governance, please open the voting. I'm not voting. I'll just put my hand up. Councillor Butler as well. I declare the motion passed unanimously. Item 3.4.2, review of rate structure for 2026-27. Do I have a councillor to move the motion in the business paper? Councillor Toynton, seconded by Councillor Wright. Councillor Toynton, would you like to speak to your motion?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay. Mm. 3.4.2 rate structure. Or if not, denied. Technology. It's wonderful. That's it. Okay. Now, sorry about that. Any further debate? Councillor Wright?
Thanks, Madam Chair. It was just maybe a question, and it might be a helpful one for those watching at home here with respect to the categories of Business Wellington Road. I know there's a map in the papers here, but more so maybe around Business Ordinary, and maybe a bit of a description on that, and currently what Business Ordinary captures when it comes to rating.
Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and we'll go to Ms. Brown. Maxwell, sorry.
Through you, Madam Chair. Thank you. So council has to categorise all properties for rating as either a residence, a mine, a farm or a business. After council has categorised properties for rating, council may have subcategories within each category. So for Business Ordinary, that is all of the properties that are categorised through our local government area as business. And then there are properties that are further subcategorised as Business CBD, Business Wellington, Business Cobra, Business Wellington Road and Business East Dubbo. So it's essentially all business properties that have been categorised for rating as business that are not within a defined subcategory of the business category. So it's the blanket Business Ordinary applicable to the full local government area, regardless of where the property might be. So that might be a business that's within a village, a business that's in an industrial estate in Dubbo, just all business properties that are not in a defined subcategory.
Thank you. Any further debate? Councillor Wright?
Thanks, Madam Chair. So just some clarity there. So that the remaining part of, let's call it Blue Ridge Estate there, it would also fall under Business Ordinary because it doesn't have a separate subcategory for that part of Blue Ridge. Is that correct?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to Ms. Bathenswaite.
So in the report, we are moving from Wellington Road, some of the properties into Business Ordinary.
Okay. Any further debate?
So just some clarity. Oh, sorry,
You're right,
Madam Chair.
Councillor Wright.
Just some clarity there. So the business ordinary will also capture all properties in Blue Ridge Estate as well. Is that correct?
Through the GM.
Thank you. And through you, Madam Chair, to Ms. Bethingthwaite.
There is still a subcategory of Wellington Road, but there is properties that are moving out of that category into business ordinary that are located in Blue Ridge.
Any further debate? Councillor Ivey?
Just a question, which I don't know whether we've got the answer to, but with the proposed changes, what does that mean? Perhaps what would be the highest percentage increase that a ratepayer would pay? What sort of level and what sort of percentage of the total ratepayers would pay that particularly high increase in rates? Have we got that figure?
Sorry. Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through to Ms. Maxwell. Thanks.
Through you, Madam Chair. Council's rates for the 2026-27 financial year will be subject of a general revaluation. As such, whilst Council's total permissible yield will be increasing by 3%, the rates payable by individual properties will be fluctuating significantly depending on how each individual property's land valuation has changed in comparison to with other properties within their category. The change in particular to Business Wellington Road, there's an appendix and a table to the report. So it's proposed a change where 15 properties would be potentially removed from the Business Wellington Road subcategory. They would be recategorised as business ordinary. That would see a significant reduction to the rates payable by those properties and an increase to properties within the business ordinary category as detailed in the report. That would be to the average land valuation about 1.8% additional to those properties. But each individual property's rates will vary next year, some of them quite significantly, but that's actually due to their significant land valuation change. So it is a difficult year to actually answer the question in relation to specific properties because of the fact that the land valuations will be having a significant impact on the distribution of rates next year.
Okay. Councillor Ivey?
So just to make sure, I don't quite understand that. Does that mean that we can't say upon this proposed changes and given that we have got the revised valuations, we can't say what the highest percentage increase of a particular ratepayer would be? Have we done that modelling?
Through the GM.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to Ms. Maxwell.
So as per the table on the appendix to the report, some of the valuation increases will see a percentage increase of up to 74%, like of rates in that particular category. But with properties that potentially recategorise into business ordinary from the Business Wellington Road, they can see reductions of 56% to their rates.
Any further debate? Councillor Ivey?
Just to make sure, so the answer is no, we don't know what the highest percentage increase of any particular ratepayer, of all the ratepayers would be.
So at this stage, we're still developing the revenue policy for the 2026-27 year and determining the ad valorem rate that will apply to each category. And then we would have to undertake analysis to each individual land valuation to determine what those rating increases will be. So not at this stage. That will be part of the draft of 2026-27 revenue policy when we determine the ad valorem rates.
Okay, thanks.
Any further debate? Councillor Toyton, would you like right of reply?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Could governance please open the voting? No, I'm not voting again. Motion's been passed unanimously. The next items for consideration are deemed to be confidential. Under Section 10A of the Local Government Act, the next items being 4.3.1, 4.3.2 and 4.3.3 have been identified as likely to be discussed in a closed session of Council. Can I now have someone move us into confidential session to deal with the confidential item? Councillor Ivey, seconded Councillor Wright. We've had no applications from members of the public to make their representation regarding whether the meeting should be closed to the public. Do I have to read that one? Yep. Do any members of the public in the public gallery have any comments to make regarding the proposal to hear item 4.3.1, 4.3.2 and 4.3.3 in a closed session of Council? I will now ask governance to open the voting. Okay. So that's been passed unanimously. I'll declare the motion carried and we will move into closed session, the time being 6:44 p.m. The streaming will now be turned off and any members of the public will be asked to leave the chamber. The chamber will be reopened and the live stream restarted after deliberations on these matters, with the resolutions to be made public. Please stop the web streaming.
Good to go.
All behave yourself. Please start the web streaming. Thank you. Welcome back. I now ask the Governance Officer to play the resolutions from the confidential sessions. Which they are. 2 and 4.3.3. Yep. Okay. We're good. There are no further items for consideration of the Corporate Services Committee, and I declare the meeting closed, the time being 7:04 p.m.